Welcome back to Game Night, my friends. You're watching Brad's on a Map. My name is Brad. His name is Rafi. He doesn't want to be here right now, but we'll see if he hangs out with us. We'll see if he purrs into the microphone. Nope, he is already losing interest. Anyways, you're watching Brad's on a Map, and tonight we are playing Seven Wonders. I play games live and unscripted so that you can hear all of my thoughts, strategies, and table talk. My goal is to give you the confidence to try these games out for yourself. Maybe you'll even decide to host your own game night. If you're here live on Twitch, you're part of the table tonight, so join in on the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment. Let me know what moves you would have done differently. If you enjoy these playthroughs, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Brad's on a Map. I also share highlights from every game on Instagram and TikTok, so if one of those makes you laugh or rethink a strategy, pass it on. And with that, it's time for Seven Wonders. Let's see how well I actually read the rule book. So for those of you watching live on Twitch, you're gonna be familiar with the card drafting strategy that we're gonna talk about because we just played it a few minutes ago. For anyone following along on YouTube, watch my previous video on Sushi Go Party if you need a little bit of a refresher on card drafting. This is gonna be the same type of strategy. We're all gonna have cards in our hands and we're gonna pass them around, choosing one, deciding which one we want to play into our own little tableaus. But this one is a little bit heavier, not super heavy, not really a heavy game, but there's a little more going on. So let's take a look. Okay, so what's going on in this game? We are leaders of ancient civilizations, and we are all, I guess, competing for the same global resources and trying to build up our civilizations. There's a few things we want to do thematically. We want to increase our resource production. We want to use those resources to build our economic income. And sometimes we want to fight our neighbors. It happens, you know? So there's a little bit of a military conflict strategy here. So this game, imagine this as four people sitting around a table. Each one is a leader of their own city, and the orientation of the table matters. So a few things we're trying to do here. We're trying to make sure we have military might over our nearest neighbors. So at the end of the round, we're going to have a little competition here between these two and these two and these two and these two. During the card drafting phase, we're going to be looking for this military symbol right here. So you can see here, this has one shield. So one of the things that we're going to be counting up is how many shields we have in a particular round. If you have more than your neighbor, then you're going to win that military victory and you're going to get some points. If you have less, you're going to lose that military conflict and you're going to lose some points. The other main thing that we want to do is we want to build our wonder. So there's 7 ancient civilizations where we're all trying to build towards a particular wonder. So this one is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. What you want to look at here is this left side, and that's going to show the cost that it was required to build each stage of the wonder. There are 3 separate stages to building the wonders. Well, there's one that has 4, but generally speaking, there's 3. So to build level 1 of this wonder of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, you need to pay 2 bricks, and that's going to give you 3 victory points. Anytime you see this wreath symbol right here in a lot of games, it's going to be a victory point. In the second stage here, I can't really zoom in that far, but you need 2 of that one type of symbol and then 1 of cloth. And then that's going to give you some flexibility in another type of scoring category we'll talk about in a second. And then building your third wonder, you can see you need a lot of wood, and you're going to get 7 victory points. So generally speaking, the way the wonders work are the more levels you build, the more points you're going to get. So you can see all 3 of these wonders, Statue of Zeus in Olympia, Colossus of Rhodes, and Hanging Gardens of Babylon. If you build all 3 levels, that's 7 victory points. That's a lot of good points. The first one seems like it's usually just a couple of victory points, and then the middle stage looks like it's just helping your engine throughout the game. And again, when you're playing on BGA like this, these tooltips are your best friend. So you can see here, this one costs 3 bricks and you get 2 shields. You might look at this if you're playing the game in person and not fully understand what it means. But if you read this tooltip, it says you can build the first card of each color for free, and that's pretty cool. you have this really cool sort of map that shows all of the different things you can get and how they relate to each other. We'll talk more about this as the game goes on. We don't need to overthink that. A couple of key considerations are the cards we're drafting are a lot of times we're going to be doing what's called building a building. And you'll see that from the flavor text of the card. They usually require resources to build. And that's everything in the top left here. So we're going to see that same iconography on the cards themselves. So one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to want to grab a lot of those resource cards. So let's actually look here. So this guy, no, let me find a good example. Okay, so right here we're building a lodge. Don't worry about the flavor text, but you can see on the left there everything it costs to build. We'll talk about what the green symbols mean and how we score from those. But if you have this card and you want to play it, you have to have 2 bricks. One, I think it's a scroll. No, it's papyrus, and the last one is silk or cloth or something like that. We'll be able to zoom in when we get closer to the game. But everything on the left is the cost. And then if you see that little paintbrush symbol, I guess it's a torch symbol, that's actually going to be another way to pay for buildings. Let me see if I can find that over here. Where is the torch? Nowhere? There it is. Okay. So what we can see here is, let's look at the apothecary. Don't worry about the graph. Just look at the card I'm showing you right now. The top right, you're going to see 2 symbols. This like upside down horseshoe and this bowl. And it's going to map to a couple of these cards. So anything on the top above the picture is what you're going to get. Everything on the left is what you have to pay. So you have to pay that scroll looking thing here. I never memorized the iconography, you guys. It's all flavor text. And sometimes it's just more fun to make up your own symbols. If you really care, then you can look it up. But anyways, so you can see here now that you have that horseshoe in the top right, that's going to put that symbol into your city. You can use that to pay for this card. So this stables card here, you could pay for it with a wood, an ore, and a brick, or you could pay for it with that horseshoe symbol that you get from the apothecary. And that's what these graphs here mean. So long story short, on the early stages, you're going to see some special white symbols in the upper right. Those symbols can let you pay for more expensive cards in later rounds for free. So again here, let's find the torch again just to kind of sink it in. So the dispensary here, you see you have that Zeus lightning bolt and the torch. You're going to get that by paying for this card. But once you have that torch symbol, then this better card here that costs a lot, it costs 2 bricks, a scroll, and silk. You can play that for free if you have that torch symbol. So there's some cool interconnected playing that goes involved, and that's a lot of fun. Don't overthink it too much. Just remember everything on the bottom left, or sort of the side left, is what you have to pay. Everything above that colored bar is what you're going to get. So this is just giving us an overview of the types of cards we can get. So all the red is military. Yellow is what's called commerce. That's how it's going to help you build your engine. So the easiest way to look at it is a lot of them will just give you money. This one lets you buy goods from your neighbors for cheaper. We'll talk about that in a second. If you don't have the goods yourselves to pay for cards, like let's look at this card. If I don't have those 2 woods that's required for this card, I can borrow wood from my neighbor if they have it in their city, and I have to pay for it. This one actually gives me a discount. So normally it costs, I believe, 2 gold to buy that good, and here I can buy it for 1. The scientific structures are going to be set collections. So you get points for having a bunch of them of the same or sets of 3. So you can see here we have a compass, a gear, a little tablet. Blue is just victory points. Purple is going to be scoring opportunities at the end of the game based on the conditions they say at the top. You'll only see those in the last age. We're going to play 3 rounds again. So in the last round, you'll see these come out, and based on what you have, you might want to start investing in these. But don't overthink too much all the different scoring conditions. We're just going to get into the flow. We'll figure out the scoring conditions as we go. As I always say, you're going to leave the game knowing how to play by the end. It's okay if you don't know coming in. Just get a basic sense of the game structure. You'll figure it out as you go. You don't need to try and win the first game. What else can we talk about? Let me just do a quick overview here. So what we're also going to see here is when you choose your city, you're going to get some sort of starting resource. So this person started with a brick. This person started with an ore. I'm not sure if they started with this or if that's a card they played down and that's just how they're displaying it. That'd be my guess. I think we just start with this resource here. And this symbol is just the blue cards they've played. The symbol's the yellow cards they've played. And these are the resources they played. We'll figure it out together. But this game's not super complicated. It's just card drafting. We're going to get some cards in our hand. We're going to choose the one that speaks to us, and then we're going to pass it along. We're going to score some stuff individually. We've got our own individual goals, which is nice, so we can build our wonders without worrying about someone else messing with those wonders. And then there's some interplay in terms of the military, so you can see these two are gearing up for war. They're collecting shields with each other. But that's pretty much it. Let's see if we can jump into a game. Okay, the game started. Cool. Okay, let me see how much time I have. I got 2 minutes, so I'll have to be quick at the beginning. Like I said, we're going to build some buildings that do some stuff throughout the game. But in order to pay for those buildings, we need to have the resources. And wow, look how advanced this iconography is. It's showing you exactly what you can do with this. Another thing I didn't talk about is if you don't like any of these, you can sell them for money. But let me look at what I have. I have this starting resource, which doesn't say what it is. It's not letting me zoom over the... We'll see when it comes around. That's okay. Anyway, where do we start with this? Let us grab... Do we need any of these? I need a stone, because I'm going to need 3 stones. Got to get used to the user interface. Sorry. So I need 3 of those stones to build the last stage of my wonder, so I'm going to invest early in those. This one gives me good flexibility, so I'm going to grab that one too. Okay, now let me slow down a little bit. I got my resources to start with. Now let's figure out what else we want to do. No one else has grabbed anything militarily yet. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Let me start the fighting, because I've got enough to build the first stage of my wonder. That's going to cost me two stone, and it's going to be worth 3 points. Oh no, that's a different symbol. Shoot, I don't have that. Yikes. Wow, good thing I saw that. So let me grab that. So right now I'm just being focused on resources for the most part. And this will come into play in the next round, because everything's going to cost money. If you don't have the money or the resource to pay for it, you're going to be in trouble. Okay. Do I want to grab that second ore? Do I want to say screw it? Do I want to get some money? Neither of my neighbors have that other ore I can buy. That's a bummer. I think I need to grab the ore. Oh, I can't have more than one. No, that's right. Shoot. Ooh, I may be in trouble here. So let's just take 3 points. Let's not overthink it. All right, I would like to build my wonder, but I only have one of these and neither of my neighbors have it, so I might be in trouble there. That is very interesting. Will it let me try? No, see, I can't. Okay. So I'll just grab some glass. I don't know. I'm a little worried because there's no ore to go around. Now he has it. Okay. Okay, that's okay. So right now it's resolving the end of the first stage, and you can see we all have the same amount of military shields, so nobody got screwed over for that. What I was noticing before was I need 2 ore in order to be able to build this, and you can see how it's got the check. because I have one, and then I can buy this one from my neighbor for 2 coins. Now, what do I want to do? What does this guy say? +2 per manufacturing good in my own city. That's a lot of points, I think. So this is going to give me a lot of money. Manufacturing good is gray, I believe, right? Let's scroll down real quick. Does it say? Can't remember. Oh, well. I like that card. That card's speaking to me. We're going to grab it. Now you can see I got a lot of money. Pretty sure these are manufacturing goods. No, these are resources. There it is. You can see where it says Glassworks, and then in gray italics beneath it says manufacturing good. All right, it's time to build a wonder. So we're going to... Oh, shoot. But that guy just went ham on the military. Huh. Okay. I don't care. I'm going to burn this shield. Basically what this is telling me is I only have one of the ores that I need. I need 2 ores here. And I only have one. So it's going to let me buy from this guy for 2. And that's what it's saying here. So J-Ray 5 for 2. So I'm going to borrow his ore. We're going to start building our wonder. The other thing to note is you need to build the wonders in order. So even if this one isn't that enticing and I really want to get to these higher level ones, I can't do it until I build those. Now what do we want? That's good flexibility. I have the 2 bricks to pay for that. Do I have the 2 bricks? No, but I can buy a brick. And I have a lot of money. So I'm going to lean in on this because, again, I'm borrowing his second brick. I have one here, and then I'm going to borrow his. I'm going to lean into resources, even if it doesn't seem super valuable now. So this doesn't actually give me the resources, but it gives me the right to buy them, I believe, for like $1 or something. Oh, 5 points for an aqueduct, and I can build it. I like that a lot. I like that a whole lot. What does my second stage wonder do? Pick a card from the discard pile and construct it for free. I don't know what the discard pile looks like because I haven't been selling cards for money. 5 points is nothing to sneeze at, so I'm just going to grab that. Who do I want to pay? I'm going to pay the guy that doesn't have any money. So both of them had... I don't recall what resource I needed, but I needed one from either of them. They both had it, and I chose the guy with less money because I don't want to keep giving this guy an advantage. Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? Do we build stage 2 and choose a card out of the discard? I think we do. Or do we lean into bricks? What do I need? I need an ore. So none of these resources really help me. So I'm going to build my second stage wonder with this card. Now I get to choose some discard. Ooh, I can get $5 back. That's pretty sexy. Let's just grab that. Now we got money to play with, and now we have flexibility for the last round. So money doesn't necessarily do anything specific for you or like directly, but it gives you flexibility to do other things. So I'm definitely gonna, actually, am I gonna do this? What am I gonna do? I don't have any wood. I think I'm actually gonna take the wood. This wood, wood, W-O-U-L-D. This, or this, what am I gonna call it? Iron. This iron would have given me everything I need for this wonder, but I already have 2 and I only need to buy 1 versus the ore is really good for me. And now I have a lot of money going into this last round. All right, let's look at this. Remember, purple is going to give us a lot of points for various things. +1 victory points per raw material, manufacturer good, and guild in your own city. So brown, gray, and purple. I have a lot of brown. I have a little gray. This is going to be a purple. That is a super valuable card. Give me all of that. Who do I want to pay? We're going to pay the poor guy, as always. This guy already has money. We don't need to lean into that. Oh. +1 per military structure in the neighboring cities, and they both whoop my ass militarily. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to grab that guy too. Actually, no, we're not, because I can build this guy for free. And that's 8 points off the bat. Let's do that. Let's just take the 8 points. This will get us back into the game militarily. I think we got to take that opportunity. I do need to build my wonder for 7 points, but this 3 will get me a lot farther in terms of keeping up militarily with these two guys. So I have 1, he has 3, he has 3. This put me at 4. So that's a huge swing. I believe you get 3 points for each military victory you win and -1 for how many you lose. So -2 to +6. That's an 8-point swing right there. That's super valuable. Just kidding. That guy also played it, but that's okay. I'm still beating this guy. Do I lean in? Do I lean in and do it again? Or, +1 per wonder stage constructed in the neighboring cities and in your own city. This guy punted on his wonders. That's not worth a lot for me. So I'm going to use this card to build my last stage of the wonder. Once again, we play the guy with less money. I don't know if that's the right strategy. It's just what I'm doing. Now I think we lean into military again. I don't have enough coins or resources to pay for it. Interesting. And you can see there, I haven't been paying attention to these little symbols up here for you to construct with the walls. Just don't ever think it. This gives me a victory point per commercial structure in the neighboring cities. That guy has 1. That guy has 3. That's not a ton. I haven't been doing anything with green. I wish I hadn't built my wonder with that last one. I can't afford this. I gotta sell this for money because I can't afford to let him have it. Oh, yikes. One victory point per raw material in your own city. That's pretty good. Okay. I like that. And I will get some little victory points for the money at the end. So we'll grab this guy. I think I was very short-sighted in this game. So I didn't do anything with the science guilds or scientific structures. I lost militarily. I don't love... So who won? J. Ray won, mostly by taking points. So let's take a lesson learned from that. No, actually, I didn't do too bad there. So J. Ray won by... Let's go back to the final situation. I mean, 5, 6, 6, 4 points, 4, 4, 3. Just a ton of points there. I mean, that's like half his points right there. And only one of the purple guild cards for scoring based on other cards you have in your city. So J-Ray seems like they focused militarily and just raw victory points. Kehatua obviously went crazy on military, beat the crap out of both of them, but also got the Science Guild. So now we can look at this. We just finished one game. Scientific symbols score 7 victory points per set of 3 different symbols. And n times n victory points for every set of n identical symbols. And so what that would mean is 2 points, or yeah, so 1, 4, 9, or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head, but you want to stack these science guild points. So this set of 3 got them a lot of points, and having the different set of the library, the laboratory, and the apothecary got a bunch of points. What other lessons can we take from this game before we start the next one? I think I went too resource heavy. I was too focused on grabbing resources. I wasn't looking at the military. I didn't sell a lot of cards. I think that's okay. How far back was I? I was 8 points back. Not terrible, actually. I think what really killed me was I had bad timing on building this third wonder. I got rid of a card that wasn't too bad and tucked it, and then it came around to another card that would have been perfect to tuck, and I couldn't let this person have that card, so I had to get rid of it for money. You don't really want to do that in the last round. So, I mean, I was in the game, but I think we can do a little better. So, let's get one more game in. You can see here some of the other stuff you can do. Wonder board side, you can choose a wonder. Yeah, sure, let's choose a wonder just to take a look at what everything has. I don't know how to play the Edifice expansion, but I also don't care that much. This game is perfectly fine as is, in my opinion. So let's do a selection of the wonder. And it'll just let us see a couple more wonders and get a little more feel for the flavor of the game. And let's see if we can end the night on a victory. All right, now we can see some more of the wonders here. So what are our options? We have, where are my tooltips? Okay, so the tooltips aren't popping up. That's a little bit of a bummer. But we can look at what it's doing. So this one actually lets you build 4 wonders. That's cool. That could be a lot of points. Like I said, most of them are usually 3. So building the, what did that say? The Pyramid of Giza. But that's a lot of resources I need. And I'd be foregoing some other stuff. Military, science guild, stuff like that. So I would be invested in building those wonders. I would be heads down. And they're not cheap. Like, look at all this. Although they are synergistic. So this one requires three iron, and this one requires 4. So that plays off of each other. I don't know. That just feels like a heavy investment for me. It feels like not the move. Let us start with getting some flexibility and resources. So what do I need? I need wood here. I definitely need the iron. So let's grab that one. Okay. I like these trading posts. I like them a lot. And it has a symbol that'll help me later. Let's scroll down really quick and see what that trading post symbol is. East trading posts, that can let me get a forum for free. Okay. What do I want to do? I need bricks too. So I'm gonna get a couple of resources to start out, and I'm gonna aim towards resources I need to build my wonders, but now I'm not gonna go ham on the resources. I'm gonna learn a lesson from the last game and say I've got one of the 2 woods I need here. I've got a brick and I don't know what that is, the silk. I've got 2 of these ores, so I'm in good shape there. And I've got the wood to pay for this military. So let's grab that. Let's start getting feisty. You can see this person did it as well. I like the trading post too. I think that's going to pay dividends later on because it lets me borrow resources for cheap. So let's grab that. Now you can see people are starting to pause a little more and think about what they want to do. Okay. Victory points or the loom? I need the loom here. Oh, I see. Because this is a manufactured good, not a raw resource. That's why it's not just like silk or something like that. It's actually something produced. So these are like premium resources. And I do need that one to construct a stage of my wonder. So let's go ahead and grab that. Now I think I'm in good shape. I have a trading post that lets me borrow from this person for cheaper. I'm going to, I think I'm going to take 3 points here and grab this star icon. Let's look at what the star icon does. What was that? This was the altar. The altar is going to give me the Pantheon for free later on. That might be a cool synergy. You can see I didn't remember what these did, but I played one game and now I'm starting to get a better feel. And now I can scroll down and quickly see, okay, that's the altar. Let me scroll down and I can follow this map to say nothing in phase 2, but in stage 3, era 3, whatever they call it, this really expensive one I can now get for free. So I'm going to get that. So I'm gonna take that, and I think for my last one, I'm gonna construct the first stage of my wonder. Oh, never mind. It looks like you don't use the last card in the round. That's okay, because I didn't lose that military battle, but I do need to start building the wonders. Where do we want to start? I don't have much of a need for this, so I'll use that to construct my wonder. I'm going to be out of money, so I'm going to need to sell a card in a little bit, but that's okay. That happens. Here, this card gives me money. What does this give me? +1 per raw material in every city. Okay, so I don't have to sell a card because that card's going to give me mucho dinero. There, now I have 9 coins. Okay, now we got to focus up. Let's do military. And you can see it's telling me that I can afford this. So this green is saying you can afford this right now. This one is saying I need to buy resources for 3, but I can't afford it. So like I have 1 wood. It looks like I'm buying 2 from one guy and 2 from the other, or 1 from the other, or something like that. But let's go ahead and take this. Yeah, so I can buy from this guy for cheaper, and I'll buy the other resource from this guy. So we're going to use that money we just got. And now we're going to win the wars. But now it's time to start investing in stuff. Can I afford this? I can for $2. But that's 5 points. 5 points is pretty sweet. I think I want to lean into just getting some raw points in this game. I'm doing good militarily. I'm still tied with this guy. So this is 3-3. This one is 3-2. Now I'm going to burn this card, I think, for a wonder. Yeah. So I could pay $1. This is telling me that based on the resources I have versus what I need, I could buy this for $1 and get 4 points, or I could build the wonder for only $1 as well and get 5 points, and it unlocks my next wonder. So we're going to build a wonder with this puppy. Obviously, we're going to pay the cheaper amount on this one because I have this trading post, which lets me buy from this guy for cheaper than this guy. Now, we're in age 2. I don't need to worry too much about that. Maybe I say screw it. You know what? Screw it. I've got the money. Let me take the victory points off the bat, and then I can just focus on some really powerful cards in the last round. I can really focus about winning militarily, and I can focus on these purple cards right here. 1 victory point per wonder stage constructed in my city and neighboring cities. So right now that's already 7 points. Blue is 1 victory point for civilian structure, and those are the blue cards. That's not worth as many points. But do I want to go for the military? I don't know. I think I'm going to pass on the military because he might grab one of these. I'll just grab the next one. So give me this. This is some good. I don't have enough to pay for it. Why? Oh, the red X. I didn't see the red X. Okay, what is this? 2 victory points for manufactured good in your own city. 2 coins for manufactured good in your own city. Ah, talking too fast. 6 points, 6 coins. Yep. We will pay the minimum amount, which is... no, we're going to pay 3 to this guy because this guy's got a lot of money. Aha! It worked. Because we got this one in the first round, now we get the Pantheon for free. That's huge. A little lucky, but we take it. I think we're in a really good position now. This might be my first victory on the channel. All right, we're in good shape, but we need to lock in. That would cost me everything I have, $6. This one cost me 3, but put me in a really good spot militarily. So let's do that. Who do I want to pay? I don't know. It's 6-1. I'm not super worried about it. I'm not doing the guilds. This guy's getting all the guilds. How is Pedropod do? I think Pedropod's going to run away with it. Unless this is already being scored. This might already be scored. I'm doing good militarily. What is this saying? 1 victory point per wonder stage constructed in my own city. 3 constructed. Okay. Victory point per raw material in my own city. Huh. Based on the costs, I'm running out of time. So we're going to do this one. And we're going to do this. And we're going to go quick. Almost ran out of time there. Yikes. All right, here we go. 2 cards left. Got to make them count. I can afford both of these. I don't have a ton of time. Same thing. Victor points per blue. That's worth a lot. I can't afford it. God dang it. I hear you ticking. I hear you ticking. I hear you ticking. I think I'm okay militarily. So I didn't want that one. I can't afford either of these. I ran out of money, guys. Wait, what? How can I not afford either of these? Oh, because my neighbors don't have the resources. That sucks. That's not the place you want to be in. Burning your last card. We'll see if it's too little too late. That's crazy because I had so much money to spend, but I didn't have the resources to buy from my neighbors. Well, the good news is I'm going to get a lot of victory points for military at the end. And other people are going to get minuses. It's going to be close. I don't think I pulled it out, but we'll see. Ah, okay. Tied for second. Not bad. Not bad. Let's go back to the final situation real quick. This, everyone else was asleep at the wheel. I mean, good Lord. That's a ton of points. I can't do the math in my head, but Pedropod basically said, beat me up militarily. I'll take -1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I'm going to get a heck of a lot more than 6 here. That was crazy. But we did pretty well that time. We were in the hunt. We tied for second. I don't know what the tiebreaker is. Probably money. I would guess it's money, in which case we would have won. Basically, and we would have, if we could have bought the last card, that would have gotten us at least a point, so we would have gotten second outright, but not a bad showing. I'm happy with that. Okay, that is Seven Wonders. This is a game that has a special place in my heart. This is one of my gateway games. Gateway game is a phrase you'll hear a lot in the board gaming community. It is a game that it's the game that gets you interested in board games, because I think we all grow up playing games like Clue or Monopoly, or just generally, luck-based, non-strategic, not very engrossing board games. And then at some point you play a more modern game like this, and maybe it has a cool theme that really attracts you. Maybe it has a really interesting mechanism like card drafting that you've never experienced before. And it just kind of opens your eyes to the possibilities of what board games can be and how fun they can be. Seven Wonders is one of 3. I think it's one of 3 games that I consider my gateway games. It's honestly not even my favorite game in its own series. Stay tuned for an improvement on Seven Wonders. If you know, you know. If you don't, keep following Brad's on a Map, and you're going to see me play it here real soon. But there's better games out there that do what it does, as is true for most games that are 10, 15 years old. But it'll always have a special place in my heart, because it really pushed the envelope, because it's not just card drafting. It's not just hate drafting of knowing your neighbors are going for certain things like military and you want to take it first. It also adds these Euro mechanisms of engine building and synergies and chaining moves together and hoping that they pay off later on. So, not the heaviest game in the world, but it kind of gives you that flavor of what heavy games can be. This game doesn't even have a physical board. You got these little pieces of cardboard in front of you, but that's it. But really great game. Highly recommend trying it out. Try it on BGA. Go to support your local board game stores. Buy it. Really fun to host for a game night. It's not too heavy for most people to learn. And that is Seven Wonders. So thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Everyone in the chat, I really appreciate you. Everyone watching on YouTube, do me a favor, leave me a comment. Let me know what games you want to see next. Let me know how I screwed this game up, focusing too much on X, Y, and Z. But I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next video.